Premium currency within video games has been around for a decade, and whilst almost 99% of online games have it these days, I think we all know a selling point to some players is the ability to earn it. So we're going to discuss today the pros and cons of earning PC, premium currency, how it affects the games, their experiences, and what games do it right. As someone who's played MMOs for a literal decade and studied game development for a year, this is a topic that people like me know all too well. So, let's dive in. Earning premium currency within a game has only really begun to be a thing within online gaming since 2014. I'm maybe my prime example of this at Warframe, and if you ever played this game, you know exactly where I'm going with this part. Warframe's market, albeit player run, has been, and is the first example that I can find, of the first of very few games that took it and its own ideas properly and managed it rather well to begin with. While the game gives you open choice to buy its PC with your own money, many veterans and currency hungry players sell things so much on a regular basis that they have a decent income of platinum, or they hoard it till they find something they really want to buy outright. It's even become the saying that everything is free in Warframe, which comes from its very own player base. To add to this, and I don't think I have an image to prove it on hand, but as a login gift, the game can rarely gift a player with a 99% plat discount, which is only usable for 24 hours. Now I ask you, what game on the market today offers that? Not only the ability to earn it, but to hand out discounts and tradability. And it's all been happening for over a decade within this game, which has led to plat price fluctuations on rare or returning items, mods, and so much more. Next, in terms of experiences and how it affects the game itself, we're going to be looking at Helldivers 2. The game never shoves its PC in your face. Every warbond, armor, and weapon in its superstore are all earnable with the super credits, which you can find on its missions as you play, which essentially is as passive as an income as you can get. Also to mention, it's become something of a meme that every time a new war bond comes out, people start super credit farming to buy them prior or even on their day of release. This received very high praise from its community, making every update something to come back for and to farm for, to making the experience truly a grind that feels like a reward. Because of spending your money, you can just earn what it has to offer. This not only keeps people playing the game, but offers new goals once they earn the ones they've already achieved. And for a game that offers so much now compared to its initial launch, it's very worth giving it a shot. Considering they add a new warbond every 3 months or so now, only to keep things interesting and to mix up playstyles so often. So you never really have to keep running the same loadout endlessly, when other stratagems and unique vehicles now will offer some uniqueness in how you play and in how you approach your missions. Lastly, a game that is alright and practically chucks its PC at you from both its events and its reward system of battle passes is Marvel Rivals. Since its initial launch, and giving players units through both character progression and in-game rewards, it proves you don't need to spend money to enjoy the game. Granted, it takes time to save up, however it's a massive payoff compared to what Overwatch does nowadays. Yes, I'm throwing shade. But through all of it, they even give skin discounts and even skin votes for events happening next year. With this being a regular thing during select seasons, the devs even make it worth being a game you check in and out of on a regular basis. But where do we go from here? My hope is that going forward, more games will offer this avenue of progression. It's become a massive selling point to me personally. If a game has an exact way of earning, I don't see any other way around to play it and earn. If it gives me that enjoyment that I want in a video game, I'm not saying I'm fussy or that I'm critical of what games I play or want to play. My library's big enough across multiple platforms already that are varied enough so I have whatever I'm in the mood for. But if a game offers this specifically, it automatically puts it in my good books and immediately becomes an additional piece of work added to my wish lists. Online gaming as a whole has become very fun and extremely enjoyable. When done correctly, this isn't to say you can't enjoy story mode games, because Lord knows I'm still dying to pick up God of War 2018 again, and I'm starting to finish Mafia the Old Country. But we have definitely come a long way and better way from games that purely just want your money, and I'm going to be aiming my ire here at EA and Nintendo. So when a game offers you actual reward for your time, you feel like you've accomplished something, you've hit a milestone, you know you've earned what you spent that hard, saved, and earned currency on, and it feels like it's almost as good as being a boss you've been stuck on forever. Gaming will continue to evolve as time passes, but for better or worse, this singular instance of earning something you also have the ability to pay for is an incredible addition personally. I myself, and many others, were choosing grinding over spending money on something every single time. This is what I think a real gem is currently within the community of gaming. Playing games is a passion for all of us around the world and of all ages and groups. We ultimately love what we do as a hobby. The more often devs respect our time as much as our money, I think we'll potentially see a further increase in games that offer this value and this kind of progression. Granted, it's backbreaking, and yes, it takes time. However, the payoff never fails to feel good. But there is a downside to this. Players with little time or no personal incentive, or even just want to skip the grind, can use their money outright to buy what they want to earn. Now, I'm not saying this is bad. But it's the opposite side of the same coin we did talk about earlier. This can spiral into people calling the game pay to win, as when the game doesn't specify or inform the player, hey, you know you can earn this right? It can lead to what Warframe had issues with, people calling it pay to win and money hungry, which led to its player base rising up to defend the game. Now, is this the dev's fault? No. Nor is it the player. It's about knowing what kind of game you're playing and getting into, what it offers, and how it functions both mechanically and internally, not just monetary. But can this cause backlash, you ask? Yes, because it can lead to negative reviews. Players saying devs are asking too high a price sometimes, which can often be true. However, that alone is entirely situational and developmental. Lastly, reward versus time invested is a big thing to consider, which leads me to my next point. Play over pay. Cutting corners is fine. You want to buy the latest item or skin with your real money? Go ahead. I'm not going to stop you. However, if you judge or deem it that you can get it without spending a penny or a dime, then the parameters evidently change. How long would it take me? Is it worth it? Will it still be relevant when I obtain it? Are three questions that are essential when debating the commitment to something like this, and it's really a 50-50 choice here. It's up to you to decide the outcome, as nobody can really force your decision on the matter. It's entirely just up to you. Lastly, what I want to touch on is my own thoughts on this. Premium currency isn't a bad inclusion in gaming as it stands right now. Is it healthy? Absolutely not. Does it confuse players? Absolutely. If done correctly, it can lead to major issues and problems that we've seen with Warframe and certainly with Helldivers right now. However, when done correctly, it can prove that money isn't required and it really shouldn't be. You bought the game. You shouldn't have to pay any more than what you already wanted to. Even if you do, it is entirely also up to you. But there is also a counter argument in this as well. Whereas the moral grey area of saying you shouldn't have to buy premium currency whatsoever. Why does it exist to begin with? And what does it value? Does it really add to the game to begin with as well? Is it really worth the time and effort you spend? And a lot of people are going back to the old cause of saying make games the way they were back when there wasn't any online currency whatsoever. It was just the game, just the servers, just the people you played with, and that was all you really needed. But then this plays into, is it worth having premium currency? But also you could ask, is it worth having battle passes? But that's a different conversation for another day. However, another problem can also arise, whereas devs or publishers in general can lock cosmetics, specifically those in general, behind premium currency bars, i.e. special shops, special ways to earn them, and special ways to get them. Whereas they're not normally obtainable through normal means, players are resulted to having to spend money to actually get their characters or anyone they actually play as to look reasonably decent. This can lead to outburst, frustration, and a mix of other disappointing results. Which at that point, the devs, or whoever made the game in general, have two options at that point. Release the stuff from the premium shop, or just make stuff better, up the quality of the standard gear in general for its appearance, so that you're cosmetically looking better, not just wasting your money constantly on something that basically has no statistical advantage other than looking cooler. The nearest example of this would be Warhammer 40k's Darktide, where devs basically came in and said, hey, we've made loads of skins for the premium shop. Here's one or two or three you can essentially now earn in the game instead, which made things better for the player base. People returned, there was stuff to do, items to actually grind and spend the time playing for. The result was overwhelmingly positive. So what's the lesson behind this? Items should never be locked behind one currency. Even if it is just premium, it should never be just that. However, this does work in weirdly some cases, as games like Fortnite have managed to live and absolutely flourish of locking everything they have behind their currency. That goes for skins, music, kicks, the whole thing. And players eat it up. They just want the next thing that looks great, and every time they bring out something new, they make a massive resurgence in players and also funding. Is this a business model that I personally agree with? No. Is it worked for Epic so far? Yes. But does it come off as predatory? Absolutely. There have been other cases as well of people just spending their entire paychecks. Hell, kids even spending their entire parents' bank accounts, credit cards, everything in between, purely on these games, just so they can get the skins they want. And then at that point, they're at a loss. What do? Sell the consoles, or just ultimately demand a refund? And 9 out of 10 times, when they don't know how to refund it, the console gets sold. So it's no wonder things like age restrictions and parental controls are absolutely enforced in this day and age on console, purely because back during the Xbox 360 and PS3 era, this was only beginning to kick off. It wasn't until the PS4/Xbox One era that things truly evolve for what currency is online, even DLCs and as much as expansions. But let me know what you guys think down below. Are devs just getting greedy, or is it going to become a complex thing where they're going to want money off us more often than they're going to let us grind for it? And is this trend of gaming like this going to die out? But I would rather this trend continue in a positive manner going forward, considering how many games actually get praised for this kind of work. It's rewarding, it's fantastic, and we deserve to have something that's actually developmental in a positive way compared to having something that will control and limit us in every single manner and corner. But that's going to be all from me for now. But if you've enjoyed, please subscribe. I stream on Twitch every Saturday right now, and making videos has become something I've really begun to love doing again. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.